Hi everyone, welcome to Antoinette's Italian Kitchen, cooking with so much love. I'm excited today to share with you pasta carbonara. Pasta carbonara is a recipe that is simple ingredients, simple to make, but could be a little bit tricky when we're making the cream sauce. So I want you to watch carefully. While we're going to make the sauce for the pasta carbonara, we're going to be boiling the linguine. I'm making it with linguine. You can make it with bucatini, you can make it with angel hair, linguine, whatever you choose, fettuccine, a pasta of your liking. So let's get started. We're going to put some olive oil into the pan. Okay. I want to heat the olive oil. Okay. I love to use my olive oil di cecco. It's 100% Italian olive oil. It's the only one that's from Italy that's 100% olive oil. This is in my Amazon store. I'm not pushing it, but I'm just telling you the taste from that is incredible. The olives come from a certain region of Italy, and it really does make a big difference. This is also in my store. These little tools that I'm using, I've researched for years and years, and I've accumulated all the best of the best. Makes my cooking life easy, and I'm here to make your cooking life easy. We're going to mince this garlic. Okay, mince it very nicely. It's just each clove gets minced so nicely that you don't lose any of it. And it's easy, it's small. I like the tools to be kind of small so they're not bulky. When you use them, they're lighter. Even the tools, and I put in about 3 or 4. It'll be on my recipe. Even the tools that I use for when I use a very hard mallet to thin the meats and the chicken cutlets and things, they're light. They're easy for your hand to hold. They're not bulky. You don't lose it or drop it. Garlic is very important when you're cooking any of the pastas that I make or any of the creamy sauces or regular sauces that I'm making. It's very important, very important. And my wooden spoons. I love my wooden spoons. I wish you were here to smell the garlic with me. It smells so good, so good. We're going to put in a little bit of salt. Some pepper. And the best thing that we're going to be adding, of course, is some basil. I use basil that's powdered, but I also use fresh basil. And again, I break the basil with my fingers. And the reason I do that is it keeps the basil moist. Very important. We're making a nice base for the pancetta to enter. We're getting it ready. We're going to saute it. You know, if you can't get fresh herbs all year round, I manage to get fresh herbs all year round, and I'm going to tell you how. And if you want the convenience of those herbs to be in your house, you get some ice cube trays. You fill them partially up with water, and you put the herb in each ice cube tray, square, whether it's oregano, whether it's basil, and you just pop out a cube. You can have it all year round. You can have fresh herbs. Stays nice and fresh in the ice water. Okay, we're going to put the pancetta in, about 4 ounces. I want you to see it. I cubed it and cut it. Smells so good. We're going to cook this a few minutes. Saute it. Smells just so great. Okay. While that's cooking, I'm going to cover it. Saute it. Make sure all the meat gets cooked. We're going to leave our linguine al dente. It's ready to be strained. Partially strained. This is the tricky part. We're going to be putting eggs into this. And when we put raw eggs, and everyone's always so skeptical about raw eggs, I use pasture raised eggs, these eggs, to make sure that if we're using raw eggs into a recipe, that they're healthy and safe. So let's get going. I'm going to strain this, and we're going to move on to step 2. Okay, I've just strained the pasta, and as you can see, I'm leaving it somewhat wet, and there's a reason. I want to leave it moist and wet because what we're going to do now is work with that little bit of water on the bottom of the pot. I saved a cup of boiling water. We're going to scramble the eggs. 4 of these eggs. You can always tell pasture-raised eggs, they're so much more yellower. They actually look healthier. We're going to scramble it. I love this part. This is the tricky part. We're going to put in grated Locatelli Romano, about a half a cup. Stir it. Now I'm actually going to cook some of the eggs in the pasta. Like I said, this is the tricky part. I'm going to stir it. I have it on low. I just want to make sure my eggs are thoroughly cooked. Pancetta. It smells so good and it looks so good. Honestly, I could eat it just the way it is. It looks great. Eggs, pasta, and cheese. I don't think there's anything better. It looks really good. My kids, when they were little, they used to love it. I used to put eggs into everything. It's good protein. This is a good protein dish. So you don't want the eggs to be too lumpy, which that's where the trick is. You have to leave a little bit of pasta water. The linguine has to be somewhat wet. And then I add in my 1 saved cup of pasta water. Pasta water gives taste, substance, adds substance to the recipe, and it just gives it a lot of body and flavor. This smells so good. There it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep this on a low simmer. This is quite done. I'm going to see this is done. Sizzling, I'm going to pour it into the pancetta. Stir it. Make sure everything is hot. And we're done. Such a nice, simple, delicious, healthy recipe with a nice, creamy sauce. And I want you to feel and experience and see the cream that it produces. You see? I'm going to taste it if you don't mind. Absolutely delicious. Pasta carbonara is now done. It's made very creamy. I want you to see this. Creamy, delicious. The sauce came out perfect. You see, there's a little knack when you mix the eggs and you mix it in, you have to put the boiling water with it. And I like to keep it on the heat a couple minutes to make sure the eggs are cooked. So now I'm going to plate it. Going to plate it, and I'm going to cut in some, garnish it with some parsley. I love to do this part. And like I always say, presentation is very important. It's as important as taste. This is something that the entire family will enjoy. And then I put some Locatelli Romano on top. And we have my delicious carbonara. Enjoy. Buon Appetito from my heart to your plate.